ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जलाशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
नमो विष्णुपादाय
नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त
स्वामिनिति नामिने
स्वामिनिति नामिने।
नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे
नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेषशून्यवादी
निर्विशेषशून्यवादे
पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे
पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे
वाञ्छाकल्पिततरुभ्यश्च
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च
कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll discuss, we'll read the first sloka of the fourth chapter, 4.1. You can repeat after me. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्री भगवानुवाच
इमं विवस्तवे योगम्
इमं विवस्वते योगं
प्रोक्तवान् अहम् अव्ययम्.
प्रोक्तावहं वयं
You can repeat. प्रोक्तवान् अहम् अव्ययम्.
प्रोक्तावन् अहम् अव्ययम्
विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह
विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह
मनुरिक्ष्वाकुवे ब्रवीत्.
मनोरिष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्.
Okay, we'll see the translation. You can see the synonym. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the personality, supreme personality of Godhead said, Imam, this Vivastave, upon to the sun god, Yogam, the science of the one's relationship, the supreme. Proktavan, instructed, Aham, I, Avyayam, imperishable. Vivaswan, the sun, Vivaswan, the sun god's name, Manave, unto the father of mankind of the name Vivastava. Praha told Manur, the father of mankind, Ikshvakuve, unto the king Ikshvaku. Abravit said. So translation we'll see. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said the instructions to this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of the mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to the Ikshvaku. So in previous chapters, we have seen that. So how like Arjuna, like Krishna is saying Arjuna about all the instructions, how to overcome our lust and how to put our mind and senses on him to overcome this lust. So suddenly in the fourth chapter, the sun god and all has appeared. So why? So here we can see that in the purport, we'll read that here we'll find the history of Bhagavad Gita traced from the remote time. That is from the like very past time. The history of Bhagavad Gita is there. So time when it is delivered to the royal orders. Royal orders means here the kings of the all planets, kings of the all planets, beginning from the sun planet. Why sun planet? Beginning from the sun planet means sun is the head of all the planets. So sun supplies the heat and light, right? So which is very important for our survival. From heat we get all rains, and from rains we'll get the food. Like trees will grow, we'll get all the food. So sun is very important for our survival, for all the survival of all living creatures, right? So the kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad Gita. So here we can see that it is explained for the survive, for especially the kings are meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad Gita in order to able to rule the citizens and protect them from the material bondage and lust. So why here Krishna is telling particularly to kings means we can see an example like when the king is following certain kind of rules or certain kind of things, all obviously the people will also follow the same. So here Krishna is saying to uh, king's son, because he is the head of the planet, so if he follows, the disciples or the people who follow the king, they'll also follow the same thing. So in order to able to rule the citizens and protect them from the material bondage and lust, so king has to follow the Bhagavad Gita. So human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the supreme personality of Godhead. And the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, cultivation, and devotion. So here we can see in present example, we will teach our kids, small kids who we send to schools, will teach them education where there is a proper education, like exact what is useful for them, right? So we will uh, transfer. We want them to learn through in proper school who teaches proper information, who have very good faculty and all. We'll teach. We'll send them to that places only. In the same way, Krishna is telling to the sun god, where he is giving the proper education, culture, and devotion. So first he is giving to the sun god so that he'll put it in a proper way. So in other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path, utilizing the opportunity of the human for the same. So here uh, we can see why here we can see that from the beginning of this all the creation and all, so Bhagavad Gita is told at that time only. So we can see here, like all like in the stress class we have to overcome the lust, and how to overcome the lust. And it is spoken, Bhagavad Gita is spoken previously in so many years back only, because every living creature is suffering from same kind of lust and greed since the beginning. To overcome this, so to overcome this, all the creators need this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That is why it is told from the that beginning of this creation, and it is coming again and again. It is told by the Krishna and again, and lastly 5,000 years ago. So here in this below sloka, we'll read in the millennium, how many years back Bhagavad Gita has told. We'll here the below sloka we'll see. In the millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan. So here we can see the sun god. It is a position. It is not a name. It is not. It is a position given to a person. So at that time, Vivaswan was the sun god, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system. Okay, we'll read this. Let me worship. The Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Krishna, who is the original person and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. So here, all powers, the light and all, it is coming from Krishna only to the sun. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and transverses its orbit in obedience to his order. So in previously we have discussed, right, all demigods are like limbs of Krishna. So here it is stated, the sun represents the eye of the Lord and transverses its orbit in obedience to his orders. According to the Krishna's order, the sun is doing his duties. The sun is the king of the planets and the sun god. At present, the name Vivaswan rules the sun planet, which is controlling all the other planets by supplying heat and light. He is rotating under the order of Krishna. The Lord Krishna originally made Vivaswan his first disciple. So here disciple we can see, uh, so here the word disciple has come. So we can see here, like Krishna is the guru and sun god is the disciple. That is the here, from here the Guru Sishya Parampara is starting. The first Guru Sishya Parampara, the first disciple to understand the science of Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is not, therefore, a speculative treatise. So here we can see speculative treatise means something which is not imaginary, or something which is out of guessing or anything. Okay, someone is speculating on their own guesses or something. Bhagavad Gita is not like that. for the insignificant mundane scholars, but it is standard book of understanding, standard book of knowledge coming down from the time of immemorial. From so here we can see this knowledge is eternal. From the beginning, it is there. Okay, next we will read. So in Mahabharata, we can trace out the history of Gita. So from Mahabharata, we can trace out the history of Gita. How many years back it is given. In the beginning of millennium, known as Treta Yuga, the science of a relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Manu being the father of mankind. So here we can see Manu is the father of the mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikshvaku. Here it is coming from the Kshatriya dynasty. The Manu and Ikshvaku, they are coming from the Kshatriya dynasty, the king of the earth planet. So here Ikshvaku is the king of the earth planet and forefather of the Raghu dynasty, in which the Lord Sri Ram appeared. Like yeah, Lord Sri Ram will say is coming from the Raghu dynasty, right? So therefore, Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaja Ikshvaku. So we'll see the exact numbers. At the present moment, we have just passed through the 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. So after the Dwapar Yuga, immediately Kali Yuga started, right? So yeah, Kali Yuga started, right? That is 5,000 years ago, which lasts 4,32,000 years, which will last, this Kali Yuga lasts for 4,32,000 years. Before this, there was a Dwapar Yuga, okay? So, and therefore, there was a Treta Yuga. So, 1.2 million years ago. Thus, some yeah, 2.5 million years ago, Manu spoke the Bhagavad Gita to his disciple and son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the son of this planet Earth. The age of the current Manu is calculated to the last 305 million years ago. So, of which 120 million years have passed, accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivaswan. A rough estimation is that the Gita was spoken at least 120 million years ago, and and in human society it has been extant for 2 million years. It was respoken by the Lord again to Arjuna about 5,000 years. So here Krishna is saying 120 million years ago and again 5,000 years ago. So this we will explain. I'll explain again. That is the rough estimation of the history of Gita. According to the Gita itself and according to the version of the speaker, Lord Krishna, it was spoken to the sun god Vivaswan because he is also a Kshatriya and is the father of all Kshatriyas who are descendants of the sun god or the Surya Vamsha Kshatriya, because Bhagavad Gita is as good as Vedas, being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This knowledge is superhuman, apaurseya. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are without human interpretations. Here we can see the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are without any human interpretations, means someone who is reading or who are in disciplic succession, who are passing that knowledge, they are not adding their own ideas in that. So same way it is given as it is. So the same way the Gita must therefore be accepted without any mundane interpretations. In the same way as we are accepting the Vedas, in the same way Gita has to be accepted without any our own understanding, like without any our own additional things. It has to be understand as it is. The mundane wranglers may speculate on the Bhagavad Gita in their own ways, but that is not Bhagavad Gita as it is. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession. So why it is given so many times that here disciplic succession is important, and it is we'll see, and it is described here in that the Lord spoken to the sun god and the sun god spoken to his son Manu and Manu spoken to his son Ikshvaku. So here disciplic succession, it is shown a very great importance, because if we, I'll give an example. Uh, Suppose a speaker is speaking who knows only English, but the all the listeners who are sitting, they know only Hindi. But there is a translator in between who is translating whatever the speaker is speaking. So uh, the translator who is translating, the speaker who is speaking, he is not translating the exact same thing. For example, the translator is saying the Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, but the translator is saying the Brahman is the ultimate, the supreme personality of Godhead. The listeners will understand the same thing what the translator is saying. The listeners will not will take that knowledge only what the translator is saying, but it is not true, right? So the translator is adding his things, whatever he wants to say, that he is saying, but that is not the exact thing what the translator wants to say. So in the same way, so in that speaker, in the listeners, one person is there who knows both Hindi and English as well. So he will be like, no, no, what you are saying, what you are translating is not correct. That speaker is saying something else and you are saying something else. But the other people will say, no, 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 just be quiet. This is the spiritual thing, right? Whatever it is, like, be calm, just listen what he is saying. That doesn't work like that. So whatever we think, like who are saintly people are saying, whatever they are saying, it is correct. Oh, it is not like that. We have to uh, listen or read the things exactly what it is given as it is. Yeah. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession. Uh, Disciplic succession, and it is described herein that the Lord spoke to the Sun God. Yeah. So by so uh, we should not blindly trust the master who is telling, who are coming, who are instructing us the things. We have to see, is it same there in the scriptures and what they are saying and what they are themselves following. We have to see in that way. We have to compare in that way, and we have to see that what uh, the guru is saying, it is the exactly same thing that his guru is saying to him, or his guru is saying to that guru. So it has to be come in the same way without any mundane interpretations, or without any additional things or what they are thinking. So one other example I can say, in the same Bhagavad Gita only, so many translations have come, like in English or in any other languages. In British time, 200 years ago, when freedom fighters are fighting against, so for fighting for freedom, they were kept in jail for some years. So they were given a Bhagavad Gita. So they were understanding it in their own way when they were reading that. Mm. Like Bhagavad Gita is only for the violence and not for Krishna says only this is for the violence. But Krishna says Bhagavad Gita not just only for the violence sake. Here, Krishna, in few slokas, he says it's for violence. Of course, he says Arjuna to fight. Uh, but he also says that in yoga, he also says about yoga, bhakti, and Bhagwan also. So uh, here we can see that the people who are reading, they are speculating themselves that what is useful for them, they are taking that only. They are not taking the actual thing also. So here in the next sloka, we'll see. Uh, Yeah, in the previous sloka, Krishna will say, Arjuna will ask like question like, you have spoke the Bhagavad Gita previously, right? But then why are you saying it to me like again? So then Krishna explains, we'll read this sloka, Ivam parampara praptam imam rajasoya viduhu sakalena mahata yoga nastam parantapa, synonyms. So, Ivam, thus, by disciplic succession, Praptam received imam. This science. Ra, Raja Rasya, the saintly kings with who understood that knowledge kalena in the course of time, iha in this world, mahata great yoga, the science of one relationship with the supreme, nashta scattered, uh, paramtapa, O Arjuna, subduer of the enemies. Translation. We'll see translation. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. This we have discussed earlier, right? Uh, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. So, but in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appeared to be lost. So here Krishna is saying, in the by course of time, the knowledge what he Krishna is given, actually it is broken or scattered. Here we can see nasta, scattered or broken. Therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Whatever the actual knowledge, it is lost. We'll read the purport. It is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly kings because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens. Here we can see the it is meant for the saintly kings. What saintly kings? Who work for others, who have saintly thoughts, who wants to actually give that spiritual knowledge to the people, who have saintly qualities as well as the kshatriya qualities also, who can rule the people in the same way. If such kind of kings only be there, then the people will be taking advantage of spirituality, right? So certainly Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demonic people who will take advantage of only that knowledge. Like example I told, whatever they want to take from the particular thing, like violence only. Bhagavad Gita is only for the violence. No, they are speculating for themselves that it is only for that. So so certainly Bhagavad Gita was never meant for demonic persons who would dissipate its own value for no one other benefit, and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims, according to their personal use. So as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of the unscripturious commentators, there arose the need to re-establish the disciplic succession. So here we can see unscrupulous commentators means who did not have the actual knowledge of the scriptures, that they did not have any proper knowledge or complete knowledge of scriptures, but they comment whatever it comes to their mind, or whatever they understood, only they according to their knowledge. So those are the for that thing, there is a need to re-establish the disciplic succession. That is yeah, Guru Sishya Parampara, that is being scattered, that is getting disturbed. So that is why Bhagavad Gita has to be told again. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken. And therefore, he declared that the purpose of Gita appeared to be lost. So in 5,000 years ago means that at the time of Mahabharata Yuddha. So why at that particular time only? Because we can compare to that war to now Kali Yuga. So that war place is equal to whatever we are all fighting now with all the chores in our life. So same thing, we are also facing the same thing, how to face situations, or how to control our anger, how to control our senses and completely surrender to God, and completely act according to the scriptures. So in the same way, at the present moment, also there are so many editors of Gita, especially in English. But almost all of them are not according to the authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars. So yeah. So there are interpretations by different mundane scholars. Mundane scholars here means who are just normal people who do not understand exactly what is Gita for. But almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead. as Krishna, although they make a good business on the words of Sri Krishna. So the spirit is demonic because demons do not believe in God but simply enjoy the property of the God. Here we can see the demonic characteristics. The spirit is demonic because demons do not believe in God. Because why? Because uh, the demons don't want to surrender to the god. They will think that they are the rulers, they are the they want to be the head. They don't want to surrender to the god. They'll just take the advantage what is favorable for them in the Gita, and rest of the things they will leave. Then they'll not accept Krishna as a god. Since there is a great need of edition of the Gita in English as it is received by the parampara disciplic succession, which is now it is given by the Srila Prabhupada, which we are reading now, system, disciplic succession system. An attempt is made wherein to fulfill this great want. Bhagavad Gita, as it is a great boon to humanity. But if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculation, it is simply a waste of time. So here we can see in this purport that in the by the timeline, the main purpose of the Gita is it's been scattered. It's been scattered by different mundane speculations who are coming in the middle. So here we can see how, like, why it is scattered or why it is not exactly passing through the disciplic succession. We can see the example, like if we take milk, if it is kept for for long hours like that only, it will break. So there is no use. So in the same way, by the time course, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, it's been scattered like that. So if you want to take that if you want to take good knowledge from it, we have to see if it is coming from the disciplic succession or not. If we want to take the real essence of the Bhagavad Gita, okay, that is this. Yeah, this second sloka meaning. So briefly, I will tell the first and second sloka again. So in the first sloka, it is given the first knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is given to the sun god. From the sun god, it is given to Manu. From the Manu, it is given to the king Ikshvaku. So from then Krishna Arjuna will ask why it is again told to me after like 5,000 years, like at that time Kurukshetra time. So then the Krishna will explain by the timeline it is being scattered, or it is not exactly told. The Guru Shishya Parampara is not exactly transferring the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. That's why I have to say it again and again. Okay. Anyone has any doubts?